Hi friends, welcome to Tanglish to English channel. Today's episode is about Human Rights Day, and I shall also tell about the basic rights found in the Indian Constitution. Okay friends, let's get started. December 10th is celebrated as Human Rights Day by the UN. It was initially when after the Second World War they felt the need to have to bring about some acts regarding human rights. European countries, especially more than 50 countries after the Second World War, felt that everyone is born equal and everyone should feel that there is freedom for them to live. That's why Human Rights Day came to exist. Human rights is a fundamental right. Rights are essential for freedom. They are necessary for justice and also for peace. Rights are very essential. Without rights, we cannot live with dignity. As human beings, everyone has got the right to live with dignity. Instead of benefiting the masses, today's technology is becoming more dangerous in the hands of miscreants. Miscreants means those persons who do unlawful things. So human rights are violated by even some political groups, some communal groups, and also by some organizations. So basically, what is human right? You should have the right to express yourself. That is a basic thing in this, basic concept of that. In today's world, you could see hate speech, hate crimes are all in increase. Day by day it is increasing. Crimes are increasing against women, children, and then the underprivileged, the poor people. Those people are the most vulnerable and the most affected people. In today's technology, you could see that false news and rumors are spread very easily. People with mental health problems are also affected because of this. European Convention was that brought forth rules regarding the right to life, right to liberty, right to freedom of expression. This European Convention was made in the year 1953. It came into force in the year 1953 in Europe. Almost 47 states came together and they were called as member countries. In the year 1998, Human Rights Act came into force in UK first. In this context, I would like to tell about the basic rights and the basic freedom also. In our constitution, there are 4 parts in it. State items, there are about 59 items given in Schedule 7 and about 92 items in the central rules. And then the central list it is called. And then in the concurrent list also. Concurrent means both central and the state government has got the powers to make rules. In that you could see nearly 47 items are found there, and apart from that you have directive principles. They call it as directive principles of the state policy. The central government will give some directions and the states should follow those directions. In the state assembly they can make laws based on that. As per our constitution, we are following democratic pattern of socialism is followed in our country. As I told you earlier, the Indian Constitution is a written constitution. It is one of the biggest written constitution in the world. There were about 7 basic rights mentioned on that, and later they removed one basic right, and that was right to hold private property. If the government feels that a private property could be made to use by the public, then it can compensate that person or group of persons, and then they can take hold of that property, private property. So it is no more a basic right. Right to hold private property is not a basic right nowadays. Then the first right is right to equality. That is the first one. Right to equality means all are equal before law. There should be no discrimination based on religion, caste, place of residence, like that. That's why we call it as right to equality. Everyone is equal before law. Second right is right to freedom. Freedom means freedom to express your opinion, freedom of speech, freedom to assemble without arms. It is also a basic right. And you have freedom to practice any profession. You can start any business. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, you can move about anywhere. All these freedoms are given. And the third right is right against exploitation. Right against exploitation means no one could be exploited. For example, you could see child laborers. So it is actually exploitation. Anyone who is below the age of 14 should be given free and compulsory education. That is a guideline given by the central government to all the state governments. So up to the age of 14, no one should be employed, and even after that, up to the age of 18, even if he is an adolescent, the state government should get permission, and then only they can employ them. Hours of work is also restricted, and the basic pay is also fixed, so people cannot exploit them. Fourth right is freedom of religion. Anyone can practice any religion, and the main thing is no one should compel anybody to follow a particular religion. The fifth right is cultural and educational rights. Culture, like we have Bharatanatyam in Tamil Nadu, Kathakali in Kerala, that it just tells about the culture, no? So no one can ban that. And also the educational rights, it is also a basic right. And finally the sixth one is right to constitutional remedies. If the above one or more than one basic right is denied by anybody, he can go to the apex court, the highest court, the Supreme Court, directly telling that the basic right is denied. That is called the right to constitutional remedies. And thus a right to constitutional remedy gives justice to each and every citizen of India. Okay friends, we shall wind up the session. See you next week. Take care. Till then, bye.